Morning, Internet. Oh, it's bright. But today I want to actually talk about Campaign 4 of Critical Role, and if we want it to be DaggerHeart, what you gotta do to have it be so. So, if you're not interested in that, fair and reasonable. I'll see you later. Unless you feel like sticking around to just see what some random guy on the Internet has to say. But, for those of us who do want to see Campaign 4 do DaggerHeart for the main campaign, there's one important thing we have to talk about, and that is money, specifically finances, because it's very different for a business than it is for us as individuals. Don't worry, I'm not going to subject you to accounting by any means. I'm not going to do like a full financial breakdown. Accounting is boring enough. I know, trust me, God, I know. But my rough estimate of Critical Role's expenses, which is probably going to go up with tariffs and everything this year, was now I gotta remember, it was a $6.2 to $7.6 million. That is a low estimate, by the way. My guess is it's probably closer to anywhere from $9 million to $12 million. Actually, it could be closer to 15 to 20 million. But that is taking into account things that I don't have expertise on or knowledge on, so I can't actually speak to the cost. Now, why does that matter? And that is because Critical Role is a company that has a lot of employees, not just the main cast of Critical Role. The main cast, as we know, is a group of incredibly talented voice actors. So if Critical Role for some reason shut down, they should be fine because they'll be able to find steady enough work through that, and they'd still be able to attend conventions as guest appearances and things just from what Critical Role has done for the TTRPG community and more during its time. But it's not about the main cast. It's about everyone else on the team. The team that handles everything we don't get to see about Critical Role, which is things like production, whether that be set production or product production, marketing, social media, all the things that go into running a business. And trust me, there is a lot that can go into running a business, especially a big business like Critical Role. And other than that, just generally costing a lot of money, there are three things that I know for sure Critical Role cares about. And I mean as like an expense thing, not like their values as a company, because there's a lot of things they care about. I'm sure they're human beings. We care about a lot of things. But the three things that I know for sure as far as where money where's put towards, is one, charity. They do a lot of charity work. And some of the charity work they do is a lot of money that is put into it. Like building the school I don't remember where they built a school, but they built a school for a community, and that is not a cheap expense at all. The second thing is their show and the products they create, whether that be merchandise they sell directly or products now like DaggerHeart as a game, or people they partner with. They put a lot of money into making sure that the quality of their show, their streams, their set production, their merchandise, they do a lot of work to make sure it's good quality, so you're getting what you're paying for, because that's what they care about. We're part of their community, and they also want to help take care of us as much as they can. And that includes, if we're going to be buying something, making sure it's a very good quality product, which they are very good about. Actually, that was supposed to be number 3. Anyways, now this is number 3, and that is their employees, the group of people they work with every day. Which, to my recollection, is at least 30 employees, not including the main cast of Critical Role, if it hasn't gone up. But I think it's closer to 40, and I also don't know if that includes Darrington Press or not. I'm fairly sure it does. There's a whole thing about how you organize your business for tax purposes that can make that a lot more complicated. But I'm going to say it's at least 30 people, but probably around 40. Which, for anyone who's ever run a business, you will know, that is a lot of people to pay. Especially in somewhere like California, Los Angeles, I think it's where they are. But just California, the state as a whole, very expensive to live in. So that is a huge concern for them, because it's not just a business, right? It's people's lives that rely on their business doing well as a company. And that's not taking into account things like emergency funds and employee benefits, especially with like the California fires. And I know their lead producer's house or apartment or something got destroyed in the fire, so he had to find a new place, and who knows how much money they put towards helping with that, because that can be very expensive in California. Oh, God, the housing costs there. Ooh. Anyways, now, all of that rambling for the past 4 minutes to say that Critical Role as a company, I like that I'm emphasizing with my hands, but you can't see it, to say that Critical Role as a company is known for playing Dungeons and Dragons. And because of that, they know if they keep playing D&D, they're going to have a similar level of income. And that is what they need for sure to keep the company running as a company, because it's not just Critical Role as a show that's on the line, it's the lives of their employees and their income and livelihood on the line as well. And they don't know if DaggerHeart's going to be able to do the same thing. right? So that's where all of us come in. You, I, the community fan base as a whole, that whether be the community fan base that just enjoys Critical Role for being Critical Role, or the community fan base of DaggerHeart that just loves DaggerHeart because it's such an truly remarkable and incredible game, at least in my opinion. So there's a couple of things that we can do as the fan base to help make sure that DaggerHeart will be something they are interested in doing for Campaign 4 and has a real shot of succeeding in the way they need it to succeed in order to keep running this company and play DaggerHeart, not D&D. And this is all the normal social media things, right? Like whether they're live streaming on Twitch or YouTube or wherever else, showing up to the live streams, interacting, liking, subscribing, turning on the notification bell on YouTube, I think is a thing now. I don't know. For people who can afford to pay for subscriptions and gift subscriptions, they have a lot of people to do that. Doing that, especially when they're live streaming DaggerHeart and being like, see, the DaggerHeart streams and live shows and recordings and all these things did well. Our people, our fans really liked it. And then outside of the live shows, going to the YouTube channels or anywhere else they post the fully recorded episodes, liking, sharing, interacting in the comments and things like that, and just telling them in the comments, I'm like, hey, we really love this as a community, and we want to see this for Campaign 4. That could be the only comment you leave on every video, right? As long as they have the information to prove that DaggerHeart will work. That's what they need for it to become Campaign 4 of Critical Role, if that's something they're interested in doing. And then also interacting on, like, social media, like Twitter. Yes, Twitter. I'm just gonna keep calling it Twitter. That's what I remember it as. I don't know if Critical Role, like, they're on Reddit or not, but on Reddit, Blue Sky, TikTok. I don't know if I said YouTube, but YouTube technically, and then any other form of social media. Like just getting on there and being like, yes, this is what we want as a community, showing them love and support for DaggerHeart. Just in general, will be the proof they need to be like, yes, we can take this risk to do this for Campaign 4 of Critical Role. And then outside of social media interaction, for those who can afford it, of course, buying DaggerHeart the game, right? It lets them know that people are interested. Preferably if you can go to a local game store and buy it there. It helps show interest not just for DaggerHeart, but also we're interested in seeing it at more stores and things like that. And so stores also will start picking it up more and blah, blah, blah. Because if stores start picking it up more because they see that it's selling in other stores, then, you know, it becomes more, that's a whole business thing. Just buying it if you can afford it. That's the important part, if you can afford it. Because if you can't afford it, don't buy it, right? That's just a general good rule of thumb to live by. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. But yes, it helps show interest. So those are just, and I'm sure there's plenty of things that I'm missing, but just as a community showing love for the game and an interest in seeing it on more things like shows, whether that be miniseries, and I would love to see DaggerHeart be Campaign 4 Critical Role, but there's no guarantee that it's going to be. But for the best chance of it becoming the Campaign 4 of Critical Role, we need to show them that that's what we want and that's what they're interested in, and that it won't, you know, crash the company, or at least Critical Role as a show, because that is a large source of their income. So they need to guarantee that they have that, not just for their sakes and for the show's sake, but also for all the employees that work with them, because their livelihoods are on the line if Critical Role doesn't do well as a company. But yes, I know, very long video, especially for me. But this is something I feel passionate about, and I'm sure a lot of people do. So if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it. If you have any other ideas, feel free to leave a comment and let people know, because I'm sure I did not think of everything, and every little thing might be the difference between Critical Role playing Campaign 4 as DaggerHeart and continuing to use DaggerHeart for more things, or not, because if it doesn't do well, right? Blah, blah, blah. Business things. Boring accounting things. But yes, I appreciate all of you for sticking around this long if you have. And for everyone else who just kind of skimmed, I also appreciate you. And for everyone else who didn't stick around and isn't seeing this, I still appreciate you. Oh, yes, I ramble, I know. But remember, my friends, an adventure lies ahead, and tip a cap to your server. See ya.